Shalom, giving our praises to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rahakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders at Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations, as always, to the elect. And I wanted to do a response to this video uploaded on the page of the member of the GMS Mississippi camp. All right, the brother Halak. As you can see, his page is GMS Halak Yasha. Subscribe and be edified. All right. The video that I'm responding to is titled, "There is no kingdom without slaves." All right. There is no kingdom without slaves. All right. There is no rulership that does not have subjects. All right. And this is a great video that you brothers and sisters should watch. So go to this page and check that out. They go into various examples, all right, bringing out accounts in the scriptures, that, speaks to the truth of what we're teaching. Because as we teach, what we teach, that the kingdom is coming and that, the heathen are going into captivity, in this world, all right, and based upon what's been taught in Christianity, people look at it as if we're crazy, as if we're saying something that is absolutely insane, which every rulership, all right, that you read about in the book of Daniel, every rulership of this world, period, all right, have had their subjects. There was a people on the top, there was a people on the bottom. Right now, the rulers of this world have subjects in the form of, all right, the people who, go to work day in and day out. It's just that in this kingdom, even his own people serve as subjects and slaves. All right. The wicked elite have their own people, all right, in captivity. Well, in the kingdom of heaven, all right, as we'll show you, King Solomon didn't put his own people into captivity, and Yahweh Shai isn't going to put his own people into captivity. All right. We will be joint heirs, all right, of the rulership that is promised unto him. All right, in which the heathen themselves will be a part of his inheritance, as well as the earth in its entirety. And again, we will be joint heirs to share in that promise. So the talking point of a kingdom having subjects, to people who don't understand history, to people who don't understand rulership, okay, they just look at it simply from, a point of hate. And also people are looking at this wicked, brutal form of slavery that this so-called white man has practiced and that the heathen have practiced, where you have sex slaves, all right, where you destroy people, poison them, and many more things, rape their wives in front of them. We're not going to rule over our subjects in that manner, although there's a judgment prescribed and written that is coming to the heathen. Ultimately, the heathen are going to be taught righteousness from the kings and priests that are going to rule on earth after the order of Malak Tazadak, Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, all right, Melchizedek. You see, and we're going to go into some scriptures to show you that that's true, because the talking point of ruling over the heathen, all right, and having subjects and servants and handmaids, it puts a stench, so-called, in this world on what we teach. All right, but we're going to show you that it's scriptural. And anyone who has a rulership mentality of the nation of Israel should want that. That is a blessing. That is a part of the good news pursuant to the book of Isaiah, the 60th chapter. All right, that the heathen will be our vine dressers and serve us. All right. And as kings and priests, a priest is to administer the law. Who are going to administer the law to if all Israelites are going to be under the second covenant, in which the law, statutes, commandments will be written in our inward part? Pursuing the Hebrews, the 8th chapter, it said they shall not have to teach every man their neighbor to know the Lord. So in the kingdom of heaven, which is going to be a dominion established on earth as it is in heaven, who exactly will be taught and who will be the subjects? All right, well, that's the heathen nations. All right, and check this video out. All right. One of the scriptures they brought out is here in the book of Psalms, the second chapter. All right. Going into the decree that the Most High made. All right. Concerning his son from the beginning. All right. This is the book of Psalms 2 and 6. It says, "Yet I have set my king upon my holy hill of Zion." That's the garden east in Eden. All right, that's why the scriptures say Melchizedek was the king of Salem, king of peace, king of Jerusalem. All right, and priest of the Most High God. And that's the order we're going to rule, all right, under in the kingdom of heaven. Okay, the Levitical priesthood will not be reestablished in the kingdom of heaven. The priesthood after the order of Melchizedek is going to be established in the kingdom of heaven, which is far superior and better for us as a nation. See? And under that priesthood, as we'll show you, the subjects, all right, and the people who are under us, which the word subject, all right, comes from what? It says person under the control or dominion of another. All right. And in the Holy Scriptures, it talks about the Son of the Most High having dominion. As a matter of fact, we'll read this here in Psalms. "Yet have I set my king upon my holy hill of Zion, and I will declare the decree. The Lord hath said unto me, Thou art my son. This day have I begotten thee." All right. In the beginning was the word. All right. This day have I begotten thee. "Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession." All right, let's read this in the NLT. This is what he created his son for. All right, as the heavens, the earth, the things therein were created, they were created, all right, for a particular purpose, so that his son, along with the sons of God, can rule it in righteousness. It was just a path and a way that he set for us to fully receive it, starting with his only begotten son. It says, "Only ask, and I will give you the nations as your inheritance, the whole earth as your possession." Now, the word inheritance, let's look that up in the Hebrew. All right. Nachala. Okay. Possession, property, inheritance, property, portion, share. And we're going to show you even in the law. All right. Because people, they think of slavery and they think of this brutal form of slavery, that Esau has practiced, under his rulership, the Edomites, and they fail to realize that servitude is just a normal part of one who's ruling. He's going to have subjects. You see, and here Yahweh Shai is going to have the heathen as his possession, as his inheritance. They were created, all right, by him and for him. See? All right, him and the Alahayim. Right? Psalms 2 and 7, "I will declare the decree." All right? "I will declare the decree. The Lord hath said unto me, Thou art my son. This day have I begotten thee. Ask of me." All right? Like you ask your dad for something. All right? Well, this is what Yahweh Shai asked his father. All right? And you have to understand, in John the 17th chapter, okay, he asked his father to return him, being that he was, faithful and getting ready to be sacrificed. He was obedient to the order, the call, the command. He asked his father to return me to that glory that I had with thee from the beginning. All right. And we are now fighting to get back to that original estate and glory, as well as we offer up our bodies as a living sacrifice. "So ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession." Let's see if we can get a precept here. Oh, wow. Wow. John 17. John 17:4. I just quoted that. It says, I have glorified thee on earth. I have finished the work which thou gave me to do. And now, O Father, glorify thou me with thine own self, with the glory which I had with thee before the world was, from the beginning. Okay? It says, in Psalms 22 and 27, all the ends of the world should remember and turn unto Yahweh, and that's what they're going to do. And all the kindreds of the nations shall worship before thee. Psalm 72 and 8, he shall have dominion also from sea to sea, and from the river unto the ends of the earth. Speaking of who? Yahweh Shai. All right. Which in that chapter, it says this is a psalm for Solomon. You see? So Yahweh Shai, the king of peace, is going to have dominion, all right, from the uttermost, the ends of the earth to the uttermost parts of the earth. The whole earth will be his possession. That's what his father gave to him. You see? And in that, the people that live in the earth will also be his inheritance. See? Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron. Thou shalt dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel. Okay? Be wise now, therefore, O ye kings, be instructed, ye judges of the earth, which is the elect. So here in Revelation 2, these are all scriptures you have heard before, but I was moved to do a response by listening to their lesson. Psalms or Revelation, all right, 2 and 25. All right, this is out of the mouth of the Messiah. But that which ye have already hold fast till I come. And he that overcometh, which is what we're fighting to do, all right, which ultimately the elect were already chosen from the foundation of the earth. We just have to finish our course. All right. And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations. And he shall rule over them with a rod of iron. As the vessels of a potter shall they be broken into shivers, even as I have received of my Father. And I will give him the morning star, the laws in their inward part. And he that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. So there you go. That's the promise to the church, the Israelites, the elect, that I'm going to, all right, as the scriptures say, we're joint heirs to the promise. Okay, the promised land that was promised unto Abraham grants us access back, to the garden eastward in Eden, the promised land. All right, but ultimately the original promise goes back to what we read in Psalms, the 2nd chapter, that the Most High promised his son that he's going to give him the heathen for his inheritance, right? And the whole entire planet Earth. You see? And when he rules in his kingdom, let's get the book of, let's type in dominion, because we looked up the word subject, and it means, all right, sub is under, ject is to be, under the rule of. Person under control or dominion, especially one who owes allegiance to a government or ruler. Subject, all right? So there you go. I mean, that's pretty much the gist of it. There's more. All right, but you have subjects. All right, now it says person under control or dominion. Let's type in the word dominion in the scriptures and see what we get here. Because I know there's one in Daniel that I'm looking for and thinking about, but there's also one in Revelation, the 20th chapter as well. So, yeah, just like Solomon had dominion. Let's see here. Daniel, the 7th chapter, and boom, and this is what's coming for Yahweh Shai. Daniel, the 7th chapter, okay, in the 14th verse, and there was given unto him, the Son of the Most High, dominion and glory and a kingdom that all people and nations and languages should serve him. See, he's gonna have servants. But under Yahweh Shai is going to be his people in their own order, starting with the 144,000. The 12 disciples will take their position as heads, because what did the Lord say? Ye who have followed me All right. In a regeneration, ye shall what? Sit on thrones, judging. Okay. Setting things in order, meaning they're going to be under him in the establishment of his government. So the blessing that was given unto the Son of the Most High, he's going to share that inheritance with his people. See? So it's going to be a dominion that's everlasting, okay, which shall not pass away. Now, this word dominion in the Hebrew, all right, is shalatan, all right, shalatan, dominion, sovereignty. See, dominion, sovereignty, realm, all right. See what the root word is. All right, shalat, to have power, to rule, okay, to rule over. Okay, so people will be ruled over in the kingdom of heaven. Give me 1 second here. People will be ruled over in the kingdom of heaven that's promised in the Bible. Yahweh Shai will have power, will have rule over, okay, as we read earlier. All right, his father promised him the heathen as his possession. So he's going to be master and ruler over, all right, these people. And again, the elect will be joint heirs. Let's get the book of Revelation 20 real quick. And then I want to make a point. Revelation 20 and 4. And I saw thrones, and they sat on them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahweh Shai and for the word of the Most High, which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark on their forehead and their hands. All right, which that's speaking of these times. Those who, you know, some of us are going to be beheaded, but there's a reward coming with that. Okay, you know, not bowing the knee. And they lived and reigned with Yahweh Shai 1,000 years. All right, and that word reigned. And that's just the first 1,000-year period, because you have to understand, as we're getting into, the earth needs to be cleaned up. And of course, the Most High isn't going to just snap his fingers and make everything back perfect. He's going to allow the process of righteousness, the law, statutes, and commandments to be implemented, in the heathen will be subjected to following those ways, and they will be building, they will be put to work. Okay? As we'll show you. And during the process, they'll then start to appreciate the ways of Yahweh Bashmi Shai. All right. All right, let me get to the point. The word that I'm looking for is they reigned with Yahweh Shai. All right, that's that joint heir, as we just read in Revelation, the 2nd chapter. The word is basileu. Okay, to be king, to exercise kingly power, to reign. All right, the governor of a province. And what did the Lord tell his disciples? All right, if you're faithful, all right, then I'll give you 10 cities to rule over, which is just symbolic of a certain part of the earth that the Lord is going to give his men to rule over in the kingdom, because we're going to rule over the whole world. Okay, heathen are going to be in the world. Heathen are going to be in the kingdom. Heathen are going to be on the earth. They were created to be on the earth. But there is meant to be a ruler, reign of the followers of Yahweh Shai in the millennium, metaphorically to exercise the highest form, all right, of influence, to control. Okay, so literally to rule over, to exercise the highest influence. So Yahweh Shai and his men, all right, and the rest of the nation of Israel will have the highest influence. They will rule, starting with Yahweh Shai and the 144,000, which is the first fruits, the resurrection. They will rule, all right, and in that first 1,000-year period, all right, we will rule over the heathen for the purpose of establishing order in the earth. And every kingdom has done this. All right, we were reading Daniel, the 7th chapter. Now, when you go to Daniel, the 7th chapter, okay, Daniel, the 7th chapter, it goes to the different rulerships, major empires that will rule, all right, where you can track the scattering of the Israelites, all right, before the kingdom will be set up. Of course, there's been other, rulerships, but these are the main rulers in the earth. Okay, and it starts with, the Assyrian Babylonian Empire. Okay, again, the Daniel 4 and what's that? Daniel 4, real quick. Daniel 4 and 17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers, all right, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and will set up over it the bases of men. He's able to make the basest nation rulers, and that's what he's done, all right, with the biblical Edomite. But all of these nations that ruled, okay, that came up out of the sea being the people, the water, okay, being the people, all right, these great beasts came out of the sea, right, meaning they came up to rule, okay, they came up in power, okay, as the scriptures foreordained. The heathen have their blessings as well in the form of their rulership, and in each of those rulerships there was a ruler, okay, and there was subjects, okay. So the first was the Assyrian Babylonian Empire. We know that we were slaves, all right, in those kingdoms. The next was the Medes, the Persians. Although we were able to rebuild the temple, because the Heavenly Father put the spirit on the ruler to pass decrees for us to do so, we caught hell, all right, but we were still subject. We were still under those nations. We had to get loans to even build the temple. Okay, we were subject. We were under their rule. Okay, the next you have in another like a leopard, the Greeks. Were not we subject to them? Did not they have dominion? Now, in all of these rulerships, the rulers, okay, as an example, in the Babylonian Empire, what would the ruler do? This is the book of Daniel, the 3rd chapter. Okay, and let's see here. This was the order, all right, Daniel 3 and 5. That at that time ye hear the sound of the cornet. Let's start at 3. Nebuchadnezzar gathered all of the Daniel 3 and 2 princes, governors, captains, judges, treasurers, counselors, sheriffs, and the rulers of the provinces that he had control over in his empire, which Yahweh Shai will have control over the whole earth. These heathen have, rule over certain provinces. The biblical Edomite, they have rule over the earth, but then within it, they really don't. It's a very limited rulership, but their policy controls, all right, life within itself. They have their hands in everything, all right. The elites of this world rule, all right, but it's all divided, and they're getting ready to lose, and it stinks. It's a horrible rulership, okay. And it says here, he gathered all of the people that, of his kingdom that had positions, and he gathered what? What did he say? Let's see. Verse 4, it says, then a herald cried aloud, to you it is commanded, O people, nations, and languages. All right, it's commanded, all right, that when you hear the sound of the cornet, the flute, the psaltery, the dulcimer, and all of these different, music instruments, that ye fall down and worship the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar have set up. So all of these nations were subjected to bow to an image that he had created. Okay, every nation that has ruled has had its subjects bend and bow to their way. As a matter of fact, we go to the book of First Maccabees dealing with the Greeks, right? Let's get to the point. Let's see here. Verse 41, moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people. See? Is not that what Esau telling us that we're getting ready to do now? And that everyone should leave his laws, all right, leave off the old way that you believed. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. You see? Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath. Okay, so this is ultimately what happened in the rulership of the Greeks to the Israelites. Okay, the Israelites, all of the heathen that the Greeks had conquered were told, look, you're going to leave off all of the laws, everything that because under Alexander, he allowed the Jews to, practice their customs. But here came Antiochus, and this was the decree. All right. The Lord put a spirit on him to do this. All right. But this is the sentiment. This is the sentiment of all empires, that you be subject to them. All right. But you're going to have to leave your laws. Now, when we set up our kingdom, it's going to be the same thing, but it's going to be in righteousness. You see, you're going to put off all of those idols. You're going to put off all of that wickedness. You're going to put off all of those, the things that's okay to eat according to your so-called religion. Okay, you're going to have to be subject to our ways, which is what is prescribed in the Holy Scriptures. Okay, the heathen, all right, will learn the ways of righteousness. Okay, but you have to have subjects in order to force someone to keep your way. It has to be a subject under you. Every ruler has had its subjects. Okay, let's get the book of Sirach, the 10th chapter. Let's get Sirach, the 10th chapter. Okay. And then I'm going to get the book of Proverbs, which is a banger that one of the priests in the camp found in the NLT. This is Sirach 10:1. A wise judge will instruct his people, and the government is not that's what's going to be established in the kingdom of heaven. A government, govern means to control. Mente is mind, the control of the mind. The highest form of influence, pursuant to the Holy Scriptures, is what will be possessed by Yahweh Shai and his men. He's going to share that, all right, that responsibility with. Okay, to influence the heathen, to control their minds in what? Righteousness. Because the Scriptures talks about how the people in the earth are going to have to what? Learn righteousness. Okay, so the government of a prudent man is well ordered. Look at this government. As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. All right. And what manner of man a ruler of the city is, so are all they that dwell therein. So in the kingdom of heaven, you see, look what Esau has implemented. All right. We just read in the book of Maccabees where you have Hellenization. What did they do? They forced their ways on the people. Well, in the kingdom of heaven, we're going to force our ways on our subjects, but it will be for their benefit. Although it comes at a price, a judgment. We're going to beat them over the head with a rod of iron. All right. Because that's just how the Heavenly Father wanted it. And they have to pay. Judgments are written. We were judged. We went through all of this hell. And then you think you go get into the kingdom of heaven and it's just going to be this place where we float around. There's no set ruler. Everybody's on the same page. No, that's not the reality of what the Bible was talking about. But see, the problem is this unwise rulership here has put a stain on servitude. You see? And then y'all don't want us to rule because you know that it entails that you're going to be paid back. And then our people don't have a rulership mentality, so they do everything in their power to make sure you're equal with them. An unwise king destroyeth his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited. The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable. That one is Yahweh Shai. You see, and he's going to share that with his men, and within that blessing comes subjects. You see? And let's get this real quick. Proverbs 14:28. All right, I'll read this in the NLT. I'll read it in the King James first. It says, "In the multitude of the people is the king's honor, but in the want of people is the destruction of the prince." Now, when you go to the NLT, it says, "A growing population is a king's glory." Right? Why? Because you need you need people, all right, to carry out the task that you need to complete your kingdom, to complete your building projects. If you're a king, you're not going to do it. See, a growing population is a king's glory, even amongst his own people. The order was to be fruitful and multiply. The Lord made the earth that it be what? Inhabited. There's so much room on this earth. The thought of the earth being overpopulated is not, it shouldn't be a thought. All right, that's something that Esau has, pushed, and Jake actually has bought into it. A growing population is a king's glory. And that was the purpose of a man having multiple wives. Whereas he just had one wife, all right, it would take 10 years to have 10 children. And maybe she have twins for one of them. But if he have multiple wives, he can spread his seed for the purpose of inheritance, for the purpose of family, for the purpose of passing down a legacy. And we, the Israelites, are going to be the biggest family on the planet Earth, man. And all of our people will be righteous. You see? We're going to be kings and priests. Okay? So a growing population is a king's glory. A prince without subjects has nothing. All right? A prince without subjects has nothing. See? People need to be put in order for a population, all right, to be ran in order. A prince without subjects, all right, a prince without subjects, let's look at the word subject, all right, persons under control or dominion of another. The greatest resource that any ruler can have is human beings, okay, human resources, man, okay, and that's why this scripture says, a growing population is a king's glory. All right, to see people be fruitful and multiply. And a prince without subjects has nothing. All right, so the most important aspect of any ruler, all right, is to have those who are subject to him so that he can what? Establish his way. All right, that is the purpose of rulership. All right, and these brothers went deeper into, that aspect, but I just wanted to do, a response because it sparked, my spirit, and it is very true. There is no kingdom without slaves. You're not a king if you don't have subjects or slaves. All right, employees, you see, and even in our law, all right, there's laws on how to deal with slaves. Okay, this is the book of Leviticus. Let's see here. Let's get to the point. 25 and 44. Both thy bondmen and bondmaids, which thou shalt have, shall be of the heathen that are round about you. Now, as we were going into the promised land, all right, there were 7 nations the Lord told us to totally obliterate. All right, those Hamites, but of the Moabites, the Edomites, okay, the Ammonites, and in the particular, we were to take them as our captives as we were entering into the promised land, to take it as an inheritance. So the order was, both thy bondmen and thy bondmaids, which thou shalt have, shall be of the heathen that are round about you. Of them shall ye buy bondmen and bondmaids. So this is scriptural. Having bondmen and bondmaids is scriptural. How much more in the kingdom of heaven? See, all of the heathen rulers had their subjects. How much more the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords? All right, the word for bondmen, all right, is what? Ibad. All right, Ibad, servant, slave. Okay? Servants, manservant, maidservant. Okay, and in the kingdom of heaven, as we always show you, Isaiah 14 and 2, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of Yahweh. All right, by Hashem Yahushai, for servants and handmaids, because who did Yahweh set to be ruler over his holy hill? His son. Okay, and this all is all scriptural. We're not saying anything that's out of the norm. It's just that Judeo, this modern Christian breakdown of the scriptures, has been absolutely off. It's just not right. It's wrong. It's not in line with the context of the Bible. The kingdom of heaven is going to be what? A transfer of wealth, a transfer of rulership unto the rightful, all right, heirs of the earth under the heir, Yahweh Shai. Okay? In the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives, who captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. That is a part of the good news. Now, even in the law, as we're reading here, both thy bondmen and bondmaids, which thou shalt have, shall be of the heathen that are round about you. All right, ye shall buy bondmen and bondmaids, and that's going to happen in the kingdom. We're going to sell the heathen. That's in the book of Joel. You thought that y'all were just going to be able to have y'all way with the people of the Most High and have your rulership and have your dominion and your subjects, but then the Most High Son and the holy people won't have theirs. You're absolutely out of your mind. Moreover, of the children of the strangers that do sojourn among you, of them shall ye buy, and of their families that are with you, which they shall begat in your land, they shall be your possession. See? And ye shall take them as an inheritance for your children after you, to inherit them for a possession, and they shall be your bondmen forever. But over your brethren, the children of Israel, ye shall not rule over another with vigor. You see? So again, boom, right there. It shows you, all right, that and Yahweh Shai is going to fulfill this law. All right, because through him, we're going to have the heathen as what? An inheritance to pass down to our children and their children's children forever, because we will have children. Our children will have children. How do we know that? Well, let's get that in the book of Ezekiel, the 37th chapter. Ezekiel, the 37th chapter. Okay. And 25. And they shall dwell in a land that I have given unto Jacob my servant, which that promise came from Abraham to Isaac to Jacob, wherein your fathers have dwelt, and it fell on the 12 tribes of Israel. And they shall dwell therein, even they and their children, and their children's children forever. And my servant David, all right, shall be prince over them forever. He's going to be their prince forever. There you go. That's the government that's going to be established by Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. A government is going to be established. Okay, and with that government, of course, we're going to have our subjects. Now, I wanted to read this from this is from Bible Hub. You know, you can look up the different scholars and what they say about this scripture that we were reading in Leviticus. Okay, let's see here. Let's just read this one. Barnes, property and foreign slaves here is distinctly permitted. It's in the law. Slaves are permitted. So the talking point of having slaves is not some weird foreign concept of a bunch of hate-filled black Latinos and Native Americans who want payback, all right, from their enemies. Yes, we do want payback, and we are going to get payback through Yahweh Shai. But ultimately, it's scriptural. Again, it's a part of the good news that we will have slaves. All right. It is a patriarchal custom. Patriarchs, the fathers of the promise. All right. A patriarch goes to what? The fathers. All right. Patriarchal custom. It's a patriarchal custom. This is why the men of the Lord need to be teaching his word. Women, they you know, and then a lot of you men have become as women. Everybody could be in the kingdom. All nations can be saved. Well, who's going to be the subject? So in the kingdom of heaven, the heathen going to be ruling right along with us, ruling over their own people? Absolutely not, brother. You just don't understand the scriptures relating to the characteristics of a patriarch. A system, all right, a system of society or government controlled by men. See that? Men. It gives you Genesis 17 and 12. Let's go to Genesis 17 and 12 and see what that says. Let's get Genesis 17. I'm pretty sure this is Abraham and his bondmaid. All right, the bondwoman, which was Hagar, right? What does it say? Jeremiah. My mind's all over the place. Genesis 17 and 12. It says, and he that is 8 days old shall be circumcised among you, every man child in your generations, he that is born in your house, all right, or bought with money, all right, or any stranger which is not thy seed, all right. Again, they would have to, if they are of your house, they're gonna have to what? Be circumcised, okay. So again, when we get the heathen as our inheritance, they're gonna have to get circumcised, okay. I mean, again, you have the bondmaid. Hagar was what? Abraham's bondmaid, all right, which is a woman either through you taking down her people, all right, that was sold unto you, or you ruling over that people, and you take from among them, all right, the women you wish to have. That's in the law. You see, as a matter of fact, let's get that. I believe it's Deuteronomy 21. Let's see, shave. Salakia. Is that Deuteronomy 21, I believe? Yeah, Deuteronomy 21 and 10. When thou goest to war against thine enemies, and the Lord thy God have delivered them into thy hands, and thou hast taken them captive, and thou seest among the captives a beautiful woman. This is in the law. It's like Jake just skips over this stuff. Yeah, we have instances where the Lord told us not to make marriages with the heathen because Jake was going off. In truth, you're not supposed to make a marriage where you're joining the houses. No, the heathen are supposed to just be under you and subject to you. Amongst the Israelites, amongst your Israelite wife, the joining of houses for the purpose of passing down inheritance. When it's with the heathen, it's because you've conquered them. So she's a lesser wife. She's a wife through bondage. But to be of your batch, she's still blessed above the rest of her people, like Ruth. In the kingdom, she's going to be a high level concubine. She won't be of the covenant, but I believe she'll be given back to Boaz, whoever he may be. All right. So if you see among the captives a beautiful woman and hast a desire unto her, that thou wouldest to have her to be thy wife, then thou shalt bring her home into thine house, and she shall shave her head and pare her nails. And she shall put off the raiment of her captivity, meaning all of the things that were associated with the idols she grew up learning about. That's why she would shave her hair and her nails, because the heathen, all right, did certain rituals and had certain idols tied to their nails, their hair. You see, she would shave all that off and throw that all away. All right. And then she would bewail her father and her mother who died in war, most likely, because what would you need with a old man and an older woman? In the book of Numbers, you put all of them to death, and you took the women who have not laid with any men, the virgins. You would take them for the purpose of reading nursery rhymes too. No, because eventually they would work for your interest, and the women that look good unto you, all right, they would you could take them to be your concubine, and you should go unto her and be her husband, and she shall be thy wife, which is a lesser wife, a concubine. Okay, but as we're reading here, that's permitted in the scriptures. Such slaves might be taken in war, Numbers 31:6. Okay, let's read Numbers 31:6 real quick so y'all can really know what the Bible is talking about. Numbers 31:6. And Moses sent him to war in every tribe, yada, yada, yada. It's in this chapter. Let's see here. And the children of Israel took all the women of Midian captives and their little ones, and took spoil of all their cattle. All right, because the little ones will eventually grow up to work for your kingdom, to forward your kingdom. All right. Every king needs what? Subjects to do the projects he wants to be, worked on. All right. Like in the kingdom, we're going to need the heathen. All right. All of this concrete that's in the earth, because the whole earth ain't going to be destroyed. So all of these places need to be fixed up. That's why the scriptures tell us the sons of strangers shall build our walls. So here, the children of Israel took the women, but there's one where, they specifically, it talks about how they took the virgins that have not laid with men. I believe it's in this chapter. If we find it, we find it. If we don't, we don't. But Let's see here. It's in one of these chapters. I know it's in Numbers, but maybe somebody can just put it on the comment board, because it's really, there's a scripture where, the Israelites, they slew all of the males, as you can see here, of Midian. They took the women, they took spoil, burned their cities down in their high places. There we go. Numbers 31:17. Now therefore kill every, this is what Moses commanded. Okay, therefore kill every man among the little ones, all right, and kill every woman who have known man by lying with him. But all the women children who have not known man by lying with him, keep alive for yourselves. Those would eventually, if they were beautiful, you seen the potential, they would grow up and they would become the concubine. But what would they do? They will work to forward your kingdom. You see what I'm saying? So the Bible talks about servitude, having slaves. You see? It says, Numbers 31:6, Deuteronomy 20:10, or those co-signed slavery for their co-signed to slavery for their crimes, or those purchased to be foreign slave dealers. The price of a slave, yada yada yada. So there you go. I mean, the bottom line is it's in the Bible to have a servant. It's not some foreign object, concept that we're just bugging out. Okay, again, you have man servants, you have maid servants. That's in the Bible. All right, the problem people have first and foremost is that it's so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans telling you that you're going to be their slaves. Second of all, it's just the concept. Here it is. The elite can have all of their slaves. All right. In which they have their own people in slavery. Well, in the kingdom of heaven, like we always bring out, all right, because what did Solomon have? All right, 1 Kings 4:21. And Solomon reigned over all the kingdoms from the river unto the land of the Philistines unto the border of Egypt. So Solomon had dominion. He reigned over particular nations, the Moabites, the Ammonites, the Edomites. These are the nations that he had dominion and rule over, the Hamites. And as we always show you, okay, 1 Kings 9, real quick, 1 Kings, the 9th chapter, just getting straight to the point, and I'll get it in the NLT. Start at 20. 1 Kings 9:20. There were still some people living in the land who were not Israelites. All right, including the Amorites, the Hittites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites. These are the nations whom David took down. But there were still some living in the land. These were descendants of the nations, the actual heathen, whom the people of Israel had not completely destroyed, because David and his army did a lot of destroying. Solomon brought the peace. So Solomon conscripted them for his labor force. Yeah, he was a man of peace, but guess what? The heathen were conscripted to his labor force, and they served in the labor force till this day. But Solomon did not conscript any of the Israelites for forced labor. Instead, he assigned them to serve as fighting men, government officials, officers, captains in his army, commanders of his chariots and charioteers. So the Yahweh Shah is going to do the same thing. All right. He's going to share of his inheritance. Solomon, all right, which that was Yahweh Shai in another life. Okay. He had rule and dominion over the people. And what did he do? He put their asses, all right, to work. And this is what's going to happen in the kingdom. All right. We always go into it, man. All right. Isaiah 60:10. The sons of strangers shall build thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor I shall have mercy upon thee. Therefore thy gates shall be open continually, they shall not be shut day nor night, that men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, and that their kings may be brought. Are we just making this up? Oh, that's the Old Testament. Well, this is a future prophecy of the kingdom of heaven. Okay, for the nations and kingdom that will not serve thee will perish, those nations shall be utterly wasted. Within the good news, That's to be brought to the Israelites in Isaiah 61. It tells you, all right, this is what the Lord told us, man. All right, to proclaim these things to our people. All right, and what is one of the things that we're proclaiming to our people? Let's read it. Isaiah 61:1. The Spirit of the Lord God is upon me. All right, He hath anointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek. He sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives. Okay, and the opening of the prison of them that are bound, you Israelites. And one of the things that we are proclaiming unto them is that strangers shall stand and feed your flock, and the sons of the alien shall be your plowmen and vine dressers. Okay, what is a vine dresser? A vine dresser, all right, karam, one who tends or vines vineyards. The Moabites are good at landscaping and things like that, right? These nations have gifts, but see, their gifts are going to be used to forward our kingdom. Okay? All right, and vine dressers, man. Okay, the one who works the land, basically. Okay, what is a plowman? Okay, what is a plowman? A call, plowman, husbandman, farmer, one who works the farm, plants the seed, crops. All right, which all of the crops will be non-GMO. So you're going to be working the land, yet not owning any of it. So we're going to own the land, but our subjects, because we're not going to, again, the earth, again, that's the purpose of that first 1,000-year period. And synonymously, the heathen will have to learn by default what's right and wrong. As if you're planting a crop, you're not going to be able to plant a GMO crop. The scriptures tell you not to mingle the seed, right? See what I said. The book of diverse. Right. Leviticus 19:19. Ye shall keep my statutes. Thou shalt not let thy cattle gender with a diverse kind. Esau breaks that law. He puts a damn, he'll have a cow and a mate with a zebra. You don't do that. Okay. Thou shalt not sow thy field with mingled seed, neither shall a garment be mingled with linen and woolen that's mingled with linen. So mixed fabrics, all of that stuff is going to be null and void, which all of that matters when you deal with how our bodies are made. Esau Edom knows the way that these clothes that we have, it only takes away. It takes us backwards. There's a frequency that the clothing we put on our bodies should be on. There's the seed that we eat from the ground shouldn't be mingled. There's particular things you don't plant next to the other. You're damn sure not supposed to go on the genetic makeup of a seed and make it into a whole nother species by your science. This is what the Edomite is doing in the earth. Well, in the kingdom of heaven, they won't have that ability because they are going to what? Being subject to us. Isaiah 61:6. So the son of the alien is going to do what? Be our plowman and our vine dressers. This is promised. So how could they're going to be saved? But ye shall be named priests of the Most High. Men shall call you the ministers of our power. See, we're going to be priests of the Most High. Now, what do priests do? They teach. They administer the law to the people. Well, if all Israel are going to be perfect and have the laws written in them, who in the hell are we going to teach? Our subjects. Okay, men shall call you the ministers of our power. Ye shall eat the riches of the Gentiles. All right, and in their glory shall ye boast. So, and boom. All right, verse 9, and their seed shall be known among the Gentiles. All right, as we're going to take dominion over the whole earth. Okay, what was once known as Europe, Scotland, what was once known as Africa. All of these lands are going to be what? Ruled in righteousness by the Israelites. All right. But the heathen, they're going to be looking at us and the offspring among the people. All that see them shall acknowledge them that they're the seed which the Most High have blessed. Okay. This is the what we have to look forward to in the kingdom of heaven, and having subjects is a big part of that. You see, and Jake is afraid to take on that. All right. Because ultimately this world, the God of this world, have blinded the minds of him which don't believe. All right. The God of this world has a grip over their mind. So they're scared to proclaim this. All right. To them, it's hateful. It's mean, but every kingdom, every ruler is going to have what? Subjects, man. All right. Isaiah 66:21, I will also take of them priests and for Levites, saith the Lord. So all of the nation of Israel are going to be in that priestly role, that priestly order, joined unto the Most High through Yahweh Shai, all of them. This doesn't mean he's going to reestablish the Levitical priesthood. He's going to what? Make them, all right, take of them for priests and for Levites. We're going to be for Levites. We're going to be lawyers. We're going to be the ones who administer the law, the whole nation of Israel. See? Point blank period, man. Isaiah 49:23, and kings shall be thy nursing fathers, and their queens shall be thy nursing mothers. All right. They shall bow down to thee with their face toward the earth and lick up the dust of thy feet, and thou shalt know that I am Yahweh. All right, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, for they shall not be ashamed that wait for me. So yeah, in the kingdom, we always bring out Micah, the 4th chapter. And again, these are all scriptures you've heard, but again, we always have new, listeners, and it's nothing wrong with, berating the point, man. I mean, how much, how could you get tired of hearing this? Micah 4:1, but in the last days it shall come to pass that the mountain of the house of the Lord, the government, all right, shall be established on top of the mountains, and it shall be exalted above the hills, and people shall flow unto it. And many nations shall come and say, let us go up to the mountain of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, who is going to establish his son on that mountain, and to the house of the God of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For the law shall go forth of Zion, and the word of Yahweh from Jerusalem. And what does Jerusalem mean? Okay, Jerusalem, all right, means the teaching of peace at the end of the day, in the city of peace. Okay, Yara Shalom, or Yara Washalom, or Yara Shalom. Yara means to teach. Shalom, all right, means to what? Peace. Teaching of peace. So the teaching of peace will be taught by the Israelites, all right? And who are they going to be teaching? Their subjects. So the aspect of judgment, yeah, the beating over the head with a rod of iron, but that's only for the purpose of you learning and obeying righteousness. Because every knee shall bow to the names of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai on the earth. Okay? And again, the dominion, Daniel 7:27, and the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom of heaven under the whole earth shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominions shall serve and obey him. Point blank period. So as the brothers are going into, which again, they went to more of a technical aspect in dealing with, there is no kingdom without slaves. Again, this kingdom has slaves, servants. Okay, in the kingdom of heaven, we're not going to be doing all of these projects. We're going to what? All right, send out orders for things to be done. You're going to have to clean the earth up. And in the process, you will learn what's good and not good, what's clean and not clean. Therefore, you will be upgraded. Okay, Revelation 22. And if all you can come out with this, well, God is love, this is hate. Well, hey, man, good luck. Revelation 22:1. Okay. And he showed me a pure river of water, clear as crystal, proceeding out of the throne of God and out of the Lamb. All right. And what is the throne of God? All right. In the earth, the throne of David, man. And we're backing up what we're saying with scripture, man. Psalms 122:5. For there are set thrones of judgment, the thrones of the house of David. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem. They shall prosper that love thee. Peace will be within thy walls, prosperity within thy palaces. All right. So there you go. The thrones of judgment is the thrones of David. Isaiah, the 9th chapter. All right. The birth and reign of the Prince of Peace in the 6th verse. For unto us a child is born, for unto us a son is given, and the government shall be on his shoulders, and his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, the Mighty, all right, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. All right, and IUIC is using this to say, see, he has many names. Well, this is basically going to his reputation. These are titles. Because when you look up that word name, all right, yeah, it speaks to a literal name, but Sham, which they say Shem. Oh, well, this is Bun. All right, but I'm tripping. And his name, there you go, Sham. I'm tripping. Sham, name, reputation, fame, glory, name, all right, as designation of the Most High, memorial, monument. So these different titles that we're reading can all be tied, all right, to his reputation, all right, what he's renowned for, Shawam, what he was appointed to do, okay, to a point what he was constituted to do. So this don't mean this is his literal name, all right, but these are attributes, all right, and which these are many more. Wonderful Counselor, the Mighty Power, the Everlasting Father. He is an everlasting Father. Didn't all of the first fruit spirits come out of him? Okay, he's the Father of righteousness, going back to ancient customs. If you were great at something, you were the father of it. All right, the Prince of Peace. How could he be the father and a prince? If you're saying this is talking about the Most High, he's his own son. No, he's the Prince of Peace. Okay, the one who the Most High set over his creation. Of the increase of his government, all right, and peace there shall be no end, upon the throne of David and upon his kingdom, to order it, to establish it with judgment and with justice from henceforth, even forever. The zeal of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai will perform this. So, let's see, where were we? To end it off, because, you know, that's the point was made. Okay, the point was made. What was I reading? Yeah. Let's see, was I reading something? No, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. You know, I mean, there's so many scriptures we can get into, but hey, man. And yep, we always go into this one. Salvation is going to be, you know, be associated with us executing vengeance upon the heathen. All right, and all of the judgments written. So let's finish off. This is where I was at, Revelation 22:1, and he showed me a pure water of a river of water of life, clear as crystal, proceeding out of the throne of the Most High and of the Lamb. And that's the laws going forth, the doctrine of righteousness, of peace in the earth, coming from the throne of David. In the midst of the street of it, on either side of the river, all right, there was a tree of life which bare 12 manner of fruits, and yielded her fruit every month, and the leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nations. All right, so the nations will be healed through our rulership. All right, they will never be on our level, but again, they will be healed. All right, they will receive therapy, because this man's rulership has poisoned everything, everybody's mind. So the law, statutes, commandments being implemented in the earth, the earth will be uplifted, upgraded. All right, and the nations will receive therapy, service rendered by one to another, medical service, curing, healing. All right, body of attendants, servants, domestics. So everything's going to be put back in its rightful order. Okay, and it's going to do a service to restore to health the nations. We're going to be perfect. They're going to need to be worked on. All right, and the law, statutes, and commandments being implemented and taught to them is going to what? Heal them. All right, but you need subjects in order to do this, right? So we're going to have those subjects. Okay, the heathen will bow to the Israelites. Okay, and then the main heathen that we have our mind on getting is the Edomites, just like David. When he got his kingdom, he sung a song, rejoicing over the Moabites, the Edomites, the Philistines. So we have the same mind as him. So anyway, I just wanted to touch into that. Hopefully I was edified. There is no kingdom without slaves. There is no rulership without subjects. Hopefully I was edified. Shalom.